Okay, I'm going to preview a program that I used to use 31 years ago, back in the 90s, called learn.exe. So I finally found it, and I'm just going to boot it up. And I know I started some lessons already, but I'm just going to take you through it. Basically, this part here is the if you have a color screen. This is for old computers, and this was designed for computers without graphics. So it was made for the slowest and oldest of computers without memory, and this was for Microsoft to give a type of interactive tutorial like what you might see on Udemy right now, of how to learn how to use DOS. And DOS is one of the most unintuitive things in the world. Yes, we have a color monitor. Sorry about that, because I didn't set the focus. I'm going to put in my name. There we go. And notice that it did capitalize my name for me. How to use this course, what you can accomplish. That's basically selling DOS. This also, like back in the day, was a selling point of, what can I do with this computer? And this is a computer program teaching you, what it can do. Learning DOS with a hard disk. What that means is that this was installed onto the hard disk. It was simply copied onto there. There are two versions, one with a floppy and one with a hard disk. I don't know why there are two different versions and what would be so different with them. But basically, you had to have two separate floppies, one for installing to the hard disk and one for running it off the floppy. So let's go into using DOS. Something I wanted to comment on is that this program is all text, and a lot of Linux is text. DOS back in the 80s and 90s was better formatted than Linux is today, with all text interfaces and CLIs. Love Linux. Linux is a good production thing, but DOS is actually better than Linux in design, just like how Mac seems to be better than Windows in design. So hopefully someday that they're gonna pick back up. I'm gonna go into something. Working with files. Let's go with that. The current drive, giving file. Wow, there was a lot of stuff here. Okay. Getting started, starting DOS, running applications. So I'm gonna go with this one. This one's an easy lesson. Just go in there, and you just kind of press spacebar to go through. It's kind of like reading man pages, except this actually looks better than man pages. And man pages is a Linux thing, manual. You just, you look up something on it. But literally, this is like drawing text graphics. They put a little bit more effort in this than what Linux is doing today, So I just wanted to show that off. I remember using this when I was a little kid, 10 years old, and it was confusing then, and I went through a couple of lessons, and it's still as confusing today. So, it wasn't me. It's that it wasn't that I didn't understand it. I did understand it, but they worded it so confusing, in such a bad way. So I did this. I downloaded the program off of Archive, and I'm running it through DOSBox, so archive.org, and that's it. You live back those 286 days, pre-32-bit. My first computer didn't have a mouse, although this lesson describes a mouse. So in here you would interact and actually type in commands, but really what it's doing is just getting a line input and comparing it to some kind of string that's in memory. Change the current directory to new product. So it would be cd new product. Notice I put it lowercase. That wouldn't show up in DOS. It's trying to show you what it's doing, but yeah, it's essentially this is more interactive than anything that's in Linux right now, and this was made in the 80s, so that kind of thing. get a directory listing and look for the file. So dir is the listing. ls would be in Linux, but see, this interactive kind of demo, made in the 80s, once again, is still doing a better job than what Linux is doing today. So, and this is back when Bill Gates was programming, So, enter the command to start Microsoft Word and load the realtek.doc. So, it should be, I think, this. Now, obviously, you can't type tab to autocomplete because I don't think they even invented that concept. When I was using this, it was DOS 3.1 or 3.3. So, there we go. And that's it. So, just going through some of that stuff. And this is trying to describe, Word. I mean, this is kind of like what we would use VI for, but I don't really like VI or Vim, whatever you want to call it. So, but that's basically it. That's all I wanted to show. I'm going to hit, and this is, all text. This is all text graphics here. So I'm going to, try to get this DOS box thing here. There, hit Q for quit, and if I hit Q for quit, it automatically gets out of the program, and this is it. That's all I want to show off. All right, thanks.